Hello there, people of the internet. How's everyone doing today? I'm doing alright, thanks for asking. So I was at the gun store the other day, and this right here was kind of an impulse buy. I was looking at all the different handguns that they had there, and I've been looking to get something a little bit more modern because basically everything I own is either from World War II or modeled after a handgun from World War II. So I figured I'd get something that is a little more with the times. So that's why I picked this up. Not only that, but this particular model just is very comfortable. I'm not really a fan of modern handguns just because they all look and feel basically the same. Like, you got the Beretta M9 series, you got the 1911 series, you got the Brownings, and then literally everything else. Everything nowadays in terms of handgun is very similar with each other. And this right here is not really any exception to that. This right here is polymer frame. It's got the steel upper slide, tilting barrel action. The sights do have those little white dots on them. I'm not sure if those are called night sights or not. I'm fairly certain they are. But this right here is their slim model. This is a Taurus Slim, chambered in 9mm, and it is very comfortable to hold. Now, as far as modern handguns go, this right here is basically by the book. It's got the tilting action. It's got the trigger safety on it. Single stack magazine. The slim handgun design is what actually sold this to me. I was checking out a couple of them, but this handgun right here is just so goddamn comfortable. It's got a little thumb rest on it, and it's slim, and it's actually very nice to handle. I have not shot it yet, but I have handled some really rough handguns, and this is definitely one of the nicer bunch. The trigger on it is okay. It's got a lot of drawback before you hit that sear, but you can very easily find the sear, so it should make off for some rather accurate shots. However, it disassembles just like a Glock because all modern handguns are basically the same. Well, I guess, you know, back in the 1940s, all modern handguns then were basically the same. You had the 1911, the Tokarev, and the Walther series, and those were the most popular, especially over here in the United States, especially the 1911. That was the gun to have back then. Alright, so this little thing right here does hold seven rounds of 9mm pills, so that should be enough to handle basically anything, but in the off chance it's not, you can always get yourself like a Beretta M9. Alright, all the other features on this gun are like by the book. It locks open on an empty magazine, or you can manually lock it open. There's no magazine in this one. 7 rounds of single stack. It's got a thumb safety right there that you can operate very easily. It's light, it's relatively compact. It would make a good CCW gun, but it's comfortable. This is a very comfortable gun, and that was the selling point for me. This thing is so nice to hold and handle. It's like it was made for my hands specifically. But without further ado, I got 7 rounds of ball ammunition. Let's lob it downrange. You know, I'm over here talking about how nice this gun is, but I haven't even fired it yet. I have no idea if this thing even cycles half decently. So before I go too in depth about how much I enjoy this thing, let me see what sort of recoil it's got. Let me see how well it cycles, etc., etc. I did buy this gun used, so who knows what's gonna happen. I do know that I got it at a fairly decent price though, so even if I got to do a little bit of finessing and finagling, I'll make it work. Riding it in the chamber, all right. Alright, first impressions. This gun is very, very comfortable. I still have to kind of figure out the sights. Every handgun seems to have that little special grace period where you have to figure out, alright, do I tilt it this way a little bit, that way a little bit, maybe up a little bit. I did hit the steel target out there, but for the most part I was aiming for that television because it's a goddamn plasma screen television on a gun range. How could you not aim at that? Recoil on this thing's not bad. I was actually expecting worse for how light it is, but this gun is actually quite comfortable to shoot, so I'm gonna load up another mag. I need more magazines for this. Alright, here we go. Another 7 rounds of ball ammunition. Let's go ahead and lob these downrange. I tell you what, guys, this gun here sure is freaking light. It is light to the point to where I can actually feel the gun get lighter as I lob pills downrange. Now, if you're using something like an AR-15, that's normal, but for a handgun, that's like mind-blowing to me. Alright, I got another mag loaded up. My first impressions, this gun right here runs fairly decently. I've had no malfunctions so far. It's pretty comfortable to fire, but I am a terrible shot. Normally I have to practice with a handgun to get it accurate enough to fire at a distance like this. But that's just because I'm awful. I'm not the best at handgun shooting. So I will practice with this a bit more and see if I can figure out how to hold it and where to hold those sights at. Not only that, but that steel target down there, the paint's wore off of it and I can barely see that thing. My eyesight is not great as it is. I should probably paint that. I'm also trying to fight the wind here. Like, as the wind blows, I'll move the camera around the tree so like wind stops hitting it. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and just fire more ammunition. I think I'm starting to figure this thing out. It seems to fire a little bit low, but I should be able to adjust for that. Let me see what I got going on. Yes, it seems to fire a little bit low, but like I said, I think I can adjust for that. Alright, like I said, I think I'm starting to figure this thing out. I seem to be hitting more than I was before. Alright, well, maybe I don't quite have this thing as figured out as I thought I did, so I'm going to go ahead and aim for the larger target, the TV. Maybe I'll see where the rounds are actually hitting, and I'll be able to feel out where the sights are supposed to go. Alright, that one. Okay. I seem to be hitting a little low and left. That certainly explains why I'm not quite able to hit my targets as easily as I can with some of my other handguns. Alright, I got one more mag's worth of ammunition, and I'm not going to blow it trying to hit that steel target. I'm going for the plasma screen. Well, that was fun. Alright, the beauty about this little handgun is these sights are completely adjustable, so I am going to adjust them so it stops firing so low and left, because it seems to be doing that rather significantly. Alright, well, this was a good time. I'm out of 9mm ammunition, and it kind of makes me sad, because I would love to sight this thing in properly. As a matter of fact, I probably should have brought the tools out to do that while I was out here blowing stuff up with it. Ah, well, hindsight's 20/20, right? I want to thank you guys for watching. If you like this kind of stuff, go ahead and mash that subscribe button, because I do stuff like this all the time. That car out there is my evidence for me doing this kind of stuff all of the time. If you have any questions, go ahead and feel free to ask them down in the comments. It doesn't really matter what the question is about, but I've started doing Q&As on my Patreon page. You don't have to be a Patreon to ask a question or to go to the page and read the answers. I get asked some pretty interesting questions, and I get asked some pretty regular questions, so I throw all kinds of stuff up on there. And it's actually very entertaining. I love doing it. I love doing it. It is fun. Some of the things people come up with on the internet is interesting, and there's some questions that I'm not really going to answer. So, well, I'm not entirely sure how to end this video, so I'm just going to say thanks for watching. I'm probably going to go buy some more 9mm ammunition. It's currently Thanksgiving, so that'll be fun. That'll be a fun time. You guys go off and have yourself a fantastic day. I have no idea when I'm going to edit and upload this, so hopefully I'll get around to it soon. But holidays are busy. I'm sure you guys know how it is. But make the best of your holidays. Don't let them be stressful times. Been a little while since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. Poor man's Garrett. It's a shame that bolt-action shotguns aren't more mainstream.